from Manchester United, Christian Eriksen, has completed his move to the club. The deal has just been announced hours after United's latest pre-season victory in Australia, and we can cross there now and speak to our senior reporter, Melissa Reddy. Good afternoon to you, Melissa. Take us through the details then of this deal that we were kind of expecting.
Yeah, Christian Eriksen and Manchester United had a verbal agreement which was subject to a medical. He's had a very successful, very rigorous checkup, and now they've announced a 3-year deal, which everyone's really happy about because Erik ten Hag was quite keen to fortify his midfield options, and it felt like that area has been dragging, especially with the Frankie de Jong pursuit. But this gets them closer to what Ten Hag wants, which is technically gifted players that can control the game with the ball. Now, to that end, everyone that's excited about having Christian Eriksen will be delighted to know that Lisandro Martinez should be following suit. We expect an announcement quite close with that as well. We reported that a deal with Ajax was in the final stages of being wrapped up. The player had stated his intention to reunite with Erik ten Hag. Arsenal were interested in him and had to divert their attention elsewhere because he wanted to go to Old Trafford. So United's business picking up quite quickly. However, the pair won't fly out to Australia on pre-season tour. Initially, that was the thought that perhaps they could come and link up with their teammates, but there's such a short spell left here in Australia. And when you consider how long the flight is, adjusting to the jet lag, it felt it wasn't really beneficial. They can stay back and deal with whatever admin they need to take care of, you know, moving homes, stuff like that, get acquainted with Carrington, and be ready to hit the ground running when they can link up with their teammates. The players are obviously quite well adjusted to Ten Hag's demands anyway. Eriksen comes from the Ajax school, as does Martinez, who work quite closely with Ten Hag. So there's no real pressure to get them in and get them firing immediately because they already know what the manager expects.
Yeah, that makes sense. Look, you also watched them today, didn't you? Looking very strong yet again, obviously after that victory over Liverpool. What did Ten Hag have to say afterwards?
Well, I spoke to him about the fact that United have now played two opponents who set up quite differently. Liverpool, who like to dominate the ball, dominate territory, will hurt you in counter-press, but will also build up phases of play. And today they faced Melbourne Victory, who wanted to play in a very low block, quite obstructive. And the positive thing for him was that in both games they managed to create a lot of chances and finish them. Hehowever, he's noticed that the balance of the team, especially in attacking phases, are still off. There's no, at one time, they rely too heavily on the left side, on another they rely too heavily on the right. He wants the team to adjust and to have balance so that they have variety in attack, and it's not so easy for the opposition to stifle them when they're only building play down one channel. Again, he noted a lot of positives, but he said there is more to come, and naturally the more time he spends with players on the training pitches, the more games they have to carry that into match scenarios, they will improve. He is happier with their counter-pressing. He said he can see the principles just taking shape some more. And he says by the end of this tour, he should have a greater understanding of which players really have cottoned on to his philosophy.